So Cameron, it's really great to meet with you here at the Biohacking Conference in Beverly Hills. And I'm really excited about what you and your company are actually doing and actually lightening up the way for my colleagues in the medical field to begin to appreciate that there are interesting modalities out there that are highly effective, totally underutilized, and would like for you to speak just briefly to my colleagues about what it is that you're doing, what you believe the future is as far as what mental health is concerned, and most importantly, how doctors can begin to embrace this new space, with the science that can follow up with that.
Yeah, so I've been working in the functional medicine / regenerative medicine field for about the last 10 years. It was on the tail end of me being very sick in my early 20s and going through a long process and getting integrated into this world. So I started to get integrated not only into the functional medicine aspect of the field, but also into the plant medicine aspect and some alternatives to pharmaceutical modalities and different therapies as well. Our main job of what we normally try to do in every industry that I've worked in, or every company that I've worked in within this industry, is to bridge the gap between what's going on in the scientific community at the cutting edge of research and so on, bridge that gap between the research community and the community of clinical practice, because there's a large gap there. And so conferences like this make it possible for us to start to bridge that gap, to start to create a framework for getting this information out to doctors. I'm involved in a company called TruKava, which is the company that I'm representing here, and we're helping to curate a very specific plant medicine that's been used for thousands of years in South Pacific Islands. It's a core part of the culture in all of the islands of Polynesia. As well, they've used it as as a core foundational fabric of their social structure. It's an anxiolytic substance that has, in the modern world, has all kinds of applications for mental illness and addiction, and helping practitioners help their patients with processing trauma and so forth. So that's an example of one tool that we have that actually has a huge body of scientific research on it. It's one of the most well-researched herbs or plant compounds in the world outside of cannabis and ginseng and a few others. So our main message here is to try to bridge this gap and to help doctors and physicians understand that there are a lot of treatments, therapies, modalities, and different compounds that are available that work with the body's intelligence, that have a huge body of scientific research and credibility around them. And direct experience of usage in clinical practice as well too. So this is a really interesting community and world to sort of dive into, and it's a really exciting place to be right now.
Great. So how do doctors really begin to implement this into this practice? I mean, what sort of business model do you guys have, and if somebody wants to get started, how do they?
So I work with multiple companies that have different structures and programs and protocols that physicians can implement into their practices. TruKava, the company that I was just speaking about, we produce a product that we can actually sell to physicians wholesale, and we can provide them with protocols that we've helped to curate, along with scientific evidence and research for different applications. There's a handful of other researchers and scientists and functional medicine physicians, like at this conference that I'm at, that we have programs that make it very easy and accessible, that physicians can either become certified in to start to implement the protocols into their practices and start to monetize those protocols as well, to where it makes it viable from a monetary standpoint and a resource standpoint as well. So that's kind of an example of what we have going on here. So there's lots of options and ways to work around with it.
Sweet. Thank you very much, Cameron.